So welcome everyone, Mystic Juicer here with some more Yomi action. We've got Dietz versus mastrblastr squaring off in Persephone's Pick Your Poison tournament, a ludicrous format devised by the dastardly mind of the man in the left corner here, Dietz, where you basically have, you figure out your opponent, and then you coordinate. Flip a coin, and first you pick, first person picks a difficult matchup from an existing list. Then the next person picks two difficult matchups from that same list, different ones. Then the first person picks another difficult matchup, and then all of that gets put aside for a second. Those are the matchups that are going to be played. Whoever didn't pick the matchup picks who they're going to play in that matchup. Then, in a similar fashion, you draft three complex matchups. Same thing. These are matchups that are fairly even. They're not more than kind of 5.5 versus 4.5. And if you pick the matchup, your opponent gets to pick the character that they play in that matchup. The idea being, for the complex ones, they're fairly even, but they're very difficult to understand. There's a lot going on. And starting it off, so I thought this might show up because Dietz is a Lum player. But actually, wait. Whoa. Yeah, okay, never mind. I was about to say, like, hold on. I thought something weird had happened. But Dietz is the Lum player. He probably picked this matchup. mastrblastr almost certainly picked Argagarg. That is the very advantaged character in this matchup. And the reason for that is Lum has very weak throws. That's basically it. He can never knock down with throws. His roll the dice does not trigger on damage dealt with an attack. Or on damage dealt with a throw, I should say. And Argagarg has a really, really powerful block that can make it very, very difficult for Lum to do anything. So we're going to see Lum versus Argagarg, Onimaru versus Zane. So Dietz playing Onimaru versus mastrblastr Zane. Trock versus Setsuki. So again, Dietz playing Trock versus mastrblastr Setsuki. So those are the two advantaged sides for Lum. For Dietz, I should say. And then finally going to Trock versus Lum, which I believe is advantaged Lum. And so that would mean that mastrblastr is going to be playing Lum against Dietz's Trock. Welcome back to the stream, Deluxe. Here we go. Don't worry about it too much about how the matchups were decided on for anybody who's watching. Basically, just know that the first four matches we're going to see in this first to four are going to be heavily lopsided for one of the players. And in this case, Dietz is the one who is heavily, heavily disadvantaged. Okay? Basically, consider all of these 6-4 matchups. And in this case, Argagarg is the 6, and Dietz, and Lum is the 4. We'll see if Dietz is Lum in the 4. And so this is exactly the kind of the reason that this matchup is so difficult for Lum. Typically, Argagarg has to play this game where he has to protect himself from. He has an excellent tool for protecting himself against attacks. Right? He's got his bubble shield, which puts him into advantage time. It increases in innate, blah, 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 blah. We understand how that works. But in order to protect that, he has to punch out with his kind of bad attacks a whole bunch of throws that are going to either knock him down, preventing his damage from consistently building, or for characters who have really strong damage off of throws, just preventing that damage. So he often has to play kind of awkward speeds or low payoff to try to defend himself so that he can slowly accumulate all of this advantage over a series of turns. Because the longer he spends accumulating that advantage, it's kind of like compound interest. Like, we talk about the gambling panda being the accountant in real life, but Argagarg is very much like a prudent financial planner. It's very much about the long haul, right? No churn. You want to invest heavily, just slow advantages over time that just build into overwhelming wealth and power. In this case, he doesn't have to protect himself from throws all that much. In the early game, Lump's throws just don't deal all that much damage. If you throw with a 9, sure, you're dealing 9 damage. But unless you have a lot of cards, you can't really spend too much stuff out of your hand because that puts you even more in the hole. It's kind of like borrowing money to pay back another debt, right? Like, you can't get out of that. I don't know what about this matchup is really bringing the financial comparisons out, but I'm going with it. I'm going with it. I think it's appropriate. So yeah, so Dietz has to do this kind of thing where you can see, like, he's been successfully throwing him. He's thrown him successfully like 4 or 5 times. And yet he's still dealing with a 25 life deficit. And because Dietz, or because the Lump player basically has to throw so often that he's not going to be spending many turns attacking, the Argagarg player can just throw. If he gets thrown, took 9 damage, took 10 damage, whatever. If you find a block, if you find something else, you're gonna feel it. Like, you're gonna deal that damage and get that advantage. So Dietz throwing a ton of cards into that extra juice, which I believe, unlike the other throws, you can pump 4 times? Or am I reading? I know nothing about Lum. Okay, no, you pump it 3 times, but you deal 4 damage with each pump. Ooh, really good. Finally finds an attack. Has to cash in here. Yeah, really don't care about giving Arg additional things. Hopefully he doesn't roll this away. Okay, he gets to keep them. That's really, really important. Not only for having that many attacks in hand, but just for having that many cards, which he can potentially fuel into a, which he'll need for a throw. So we know that of the 7-card hand, 4 of them are Jack, King, King, King. So very likely. So again, we're seeing mastrblastr, like, really, really strong Arg player. He knows this matchup really, really well. At this point, he knows there's very low likelihood that Dietz has a throw at all. So just blocking, totally fine. Yeah, like, he's basically saying throw me or take a risk and attack into this bubble shield and just compound my advantage even more. Okay, Deluxe disagreeing. Arg cannot spam block here, really. On the other hand, I mean, even with all those known attacks, I think pretty Ooh. Yeah. No, I agree. Deluxe saying, like, he's not going to block 13 times in a row. No, I agree. And we see him picking his picking his option very, very nicely, finding the damage he needs. But he can block a lot of the time and be incredibly safe. So Dietz has to find 32 damage off of throw. So extra juice deals 22 with 4 cards. He has spent 2 of them. Okay, dodge. Advantage time, very, very much in Master Blaster's favor. Oh, very nice. Huge! Yeah, saved by the RNG. Okay, this is getting much closer now. Theoretically, he can throw extra juice into a whole bunch of damage. Finds the dodge. Wow. Dodge into King, King, King. Is this a Joker? Oh my god. Master Blaster, Master Fisherman. Good lord. That was, yeah, that was almost really sick. Yeah, that was incredibly conservative. 2 aces in the discard mean that there's basically no way for Dietz to get an advantage in that situation. You would have had to empty dodge, and in this situation, it feels so bad not to follow up. Ah, this is over. I don't think that there is a mathematical way for Dietz to win in this situation. Although, crazier things have happened. He could get knocked down. Oh no, he can't get knocked down in this situation. Yeah, that's over. Well played by Master Blaster. So Dietz making a valiant effort. He had there were windows of opportunity, but that's why it's a disadvantaged matchup, right? Okay. So same thing. Shoes on the other foot now. Master Blaster playing Zane, the disadvantaged character. Dietz playing Onimaru, the considered advantaged character. Raziek on record saying that this is Zane's worst matchup. So we'll see if Dietz can find it. The reason, there's a lot of reasons why that would be the case, is that Onimaru has probably more than any other character in the game, except for Trock, which is, surprise, surprise, another favored character against Zane, has incredible meaty defense. He has so many tools in his arsenal to deal with meaty attempts. He's got his 5, which eats up meaties, trading, favorably actually against even the 9. If it's pumped, it deals 16 to 9. It gets normal draw on that as well. He's got queens. He's got anything with final authority backing, and if he really needs to protect himself against a combo, he has single ace, which is 1.0 speed, so it's going to trade badly against a meaty attack, but it will prevent the combo. You get to stand up, it resets things to neutral, it's something you can recur. Like, there's just a lot of tools that that Onimaru has in this matchup. On the other hand, Onimaru actually needs to block a fair amount. And we're seeing that Dietz actually ran down to about 4 cards in hand, and what that means is he can still protect himself against throws. Onimaru has some of the more powerful throw punishes in the game. Basically, any normal attack is going to deal 10 damage and draw him a card, so he can accumulate back up into a hand. Oh. But on the other hand, he has to take this risk of still... Hey. Yeah, there we go. Finds the damage. Yay! Thanks, Bob. There's that 5. Great tool in neutral as well. Basically shuts down almost every offensive option that Zane is willing to play. And all of a sudden, 7-card Oni versus 7-card Zane, 78 health to 45. So, I mean, yeah, it can maybe on paper not seem all that bad for Zane. Ooh, good, fantastic combat win. And again, everything we talked about in, against knockdown being particularly good, in neutral, Zane is actually pretty slow, except for his jab. And Onimaru just has a ton of tools to shut all of that stuff down. That also cover Zane's superior throws as well. Great block, too. So Dietz well on his way to working himself back into an advantageous position. Yeah, other advantages that Onimaru has is his dodges are actually very, very strong. Lots of punish and pain behind them. And they're fairly efficient too. If you're dodging into any normal attacks, just dodge into 10 for 2 cards. Really not that bad. Okay, gets a 3 dodged here. Master Blaster flips a king, very, very nice for him, so he's going to set up some advantage time. He could have a good block setup here. It's very unlikely that Onimaru is going to wake up with a normal attack because it loses so badly to meaties. But this can be a situation where, with one attached ace, with that damage kind of hanging over Master Blaster's head, ooh, okay, yeah, goes for Yomi layer 0, just play the anti-meaties card, and unfortunately loses a bunch of damage that he had accumulated. And that's the other thing too, is where, you know, ordinarily Zane, if he's feeling outclassed in neutral, he just defaults to plan A, which is block until anarchy. And if that doesn't work, he plays plan B, which is go back to anarchy, which is block more. But Onimaru happens to have very effective tools that get around that very nicely. And he doesn't have to worry about getting his normal attacks undercut by 5-throw, as most other characters do. He just smashes those on his way to finding those low blocks. And because of Zane's really weird card composition, he does not have an 8 block at all, so that card is a real devil. So good dodging here from Master Blaster. Terrible, terrible shenanigans. It's a triple. Okay, finds a king. Does get gold bursted, and Dietz now sitting on a 12-card hand with a 25 health lead, which is very nice. Once again, he's got a bevy of tools in his arsenal to deal with this mix-up. He's played 1-5, 1 ace, a joker, and a single face card. Master Blaster powering up for 1, 2 aces. Okay, threat of anarchy here. Dietz has to think about... So this is pushing Dietz to a block range. Pressure of 2 aces revealed, so the pressure of real anarchy. Because raw anarchy loses so badly to final authority, dodge and anarchy becomes very, very strong, because that's the counter. And then if you want to hedge against both of those options, you just block, which is often what you do. Like, I'm going to cover against my 2 most likely and scariest options, right? 50 damage raw, 50 damage off of a dodge. I'm really hoping he's doing this with Joker backup. Because if he has Joker backup, you know, he's absolutely safe this turn. Unless Master Blaster chooses not to follow up with Anarchy. Okay, Joes goes for the knockdown, and Dietz successfully bluffs his way out of potential 50 damage. So the mix-up is once again real. Question is, was that a very risky bluff on the fact that he has the Joker and thought that he was going to be unwilling, that Master Blaster was going to be unwilling to play it? Or did he just get really, really lucky that Master Blaster did not feel like potentially losing aces into that? Nice throw. Again, the same mix-up applies in neutral, so throws are going to be very, very effective. Good shenanigans for Dietz, though. All-time. Is that both Jokers discarded with... No, okay, no, not yet. A plus shenanigans. Okay, gets rid of the aces. Probably Anarchy wasn't real. On the other hand, if he's got the other 2 aces, He could find that Dietz is unwilling to... ooh. Fortunate. Good block there by Master Blaster. Very risky for a 34 health Onimaru to be getting silly. This matchup wasn't disadvantaged enough. Did Raz lie to us? Oh, there we go. The 10th of crushes. Crush! Kill! Just like that. We're nearly there. We're nearly there, boys. 21 damage. So unfortunate for Dietz that 21 is kind of a really awkward number for Onimaru to deal. Saving basically all of his guard crush attempts for the very end. He played one raw 8 fairly early, but has mostly been playing blocks, dodges, and... okay, nice. Gets the chip. Puts him at the all-important 18 health total. He's now got the threat of 8 attack. So Zane's got to be... Master Blaster's got to be worried about that being an option. He's got 8 attack or dodge into 8 attack. And because, again, those mix-ups are both beaten by block or dodge, a throw would have been very effective. So Master Blaster finds the dodge. Oh, wow! The double! Finds the second Joker. Yeah, these Nans have been upgraded from sick to terminally ill. Get these Nans to an ICU. These Nans are in serious trouble. Okay. Fair amount of dodges played. All of his 3s, nearly all of his 4s. A lot of his 5s. So, if you have Final Authority backup here, it'd be very strong. Unfortunately, he's drawn through basically all of his deck. He's got half of his deck in his hand. So, odds are good he still has some of those dodges. Dietz has not played the second Joker yet. He is working with an advantage on on a character who cannot mill his own Jokers. No! Okay, so he's got Joker backup on this. Very, very likely. Queen is a fairly good hedge against a normal attack. It also beats, very importantly, a 5 attack, which is very strong. Yeah, Queen attack was very, very sexy. Master Blaster showing us some sick stuff. Did have the Joker. Tie life. Notably, Master Blaster did not spend any dodges on that. So he still has 1, 2... He still has 2 dodges left. Yeah, exactly 2 dodges left. Ooh. Question is, does he have the 2 dodges in hand? Does he have them... Because Dietz is playing raw now. He does not have the luxury of another Joker. Dietz is a madman. He could play something like 10 attack here. Beats essentially nothing except raw throw. The pressure of... like, block is very strong for Master. Nice wake-up block. Bravely pushing no buttons. Very, very nice. And that is 1 less dodge in the deck. That is all the 5s. Everything except a single 4. Oh, God. Okay. now you've... even more than most situations. So he still has all 4 Final Authorities. So for the next 4 turns, he could play, if he's willing to play them. Oh god. So he's nearing having 50% of his deck in his hand. Finds the last dodge, the very last dodge, and this should be checkmate. This should absolutely be checkmate. He's gonna pump this with everything he can afford to pump it with. And now he's going to play a king, and this will be checkmate. That is beautiful. Oh my god. This is amazing. I've never actually seen this happen, but this is beautifully played by Dietz. I want to frame this whole game as a highlight reel. Do we see the... What? 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 The not checkmate? Yeah! Oh, the sadness! Oh god! No, that was not supposed to work! No! No! Yeah, no dodges left. Card counting is bad. Robs himself of the guaranteed win. What in my heart? Unfortunate for Dietz. Oh, oh, that is some sadness. Hearts to you too, Master Blaster. Way to not give up. That's why you never concede and you never surrender. Yeah, no, pitching the 9 was irrelevant. He did not count on the fact that he simply didn't count. He didn't have enough time to to have a look. Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, I don't want this to come across at all like I'm saying, like, oh, Dietz, like, oh, how terrible, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just unfortunate that, like, having all, you know, you're trying to keep in mind your opponent's, like, mental state, you're trying to keep in mind what cards he has in hand. Sometimes you just don't do that really quick check of, like, wait. How many dodges does this character actually have? And how many has he already played? Unfortunate. Deluxe saying in chat, math is for nerds. Yeah, exactly. Oh no. Okay. First turn king gets bopped by queen. Master Blaster should ditch off of all of this. So again, this is an advantaged matchup for Trock. Reason being that of all of the grapplers, he has the least need to build a hand. He has very strong options on his single face cards. And he can basically, the only thing he needs, unlike Rook and Midori, who need deck velocity, they need to build into a large hand to be able to get rock armor and the cards they need for their cards to work, respectively. Trocks just work. They're there. The only thing he needs to block for is to get Beast Unleashed on board. And to get enough cards to be able to power up for Beast Unleashed if he needs to. Satsuki 101. The second cue is coming. Good stuff. Good stuff, Deluxe. D2 the TO do the right thing. I like it. Ooh, very nice trade for Dietz there. 20 for 10. And 20 counts double because Satsuki has absolutely no life. She's one of them otaku. Practicing ninja skills in the dark. Sinks the king throw. Nice. 5 cards, not a typical hand that Satsuki's would be dodging from. Wondering what that tells us about his hand. Maybe just dodge into dodge into knockdown in order to get something going. Or possibly dodge into king, pump, pump, and then power up so that you only have 1 card in hand. Good blocks. So Dietz has everything he needs. Yes, so skimming in correctly. Confirming. I'm confirming on stream officially now. 70 is approximately equal to 0. This is why I cannot play 70 health characters. How do you even do anything without dying? So this is not Beast Unleashed because he didn't power up for one of those aces. Okay, gets the knockdown. Puts Satsuki back on 6 cards. That's actually a fairly good place to Gold Burst. Trock isn't going to get his damage off of combos. He's going to get queens, jacks, and then the only thing you really need jokers for are to cover dodge into Beast Unleashed. But probably by the time that happens, you've already lost the game. Yeah, chat having a bit of fun about the 70 equal to 0. Yeah, get wrecked math. Nice dodges from Dietz. Fairly unlikely that he would have them in this instance, since he's already played. Like, basically every dodge you play makes the next one way less likely. And dodging into 10 damage and knockdown is phenomenal. yes, playing a 70 health character, Southpaw Hair is saying, it's like being at 0 hit points in D&D. You're still alive, but if you take any action, you just keel over. That's been my experience. How do you even Manelker, guys? Like, it's impossible. You just get killed. How did that scrub ever beat Midori in the lore? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so Dietz working on a really nice advantage here. Yeah, just gonna play. He's fairly certain that he doesn't have to contend with queens anymore, seeing that jack come out. Oh, very nice. Smoke bomb. The nice thing for Dietz in this instance is that any smoke bomb attempt that Satsuki has to play to win combat basically means like you played a joker. You just have more jokers in deck than you started the game with, basically. Yeah, CPAT confirming. Midori does 6-4 Manelker in Yomi. Like, it doesn't make any sense. We should adjust the lore. Oh, interesting. Apparently, Master Blaster unable to combo after that too, after he smoke bombed. Okay, so we might have identified a bug. Yeah, so we might have to do... Okay, so the pausing the game for a second. Okay, so they'll continue the game and we'll confirm whether that's a bug or not. Ordinarily, if she smoke bombs an ability that prevents her, essentially an armored ability that makes them win combat, I'm expecting a gold burst here from Dietz. Yeah, CPAT saying it's very unlikely that interaction has never come up before, so probably it was a misclick. Unfortunate for Master Blaster. 6 setup for the queen. Yeah, so what happened was Dietz played Slow Jack, which has armor, and Master Blaster played a 2 attack into it, and smoke bombed the armor, And then ordinarily you'd get to combo after that, but he was unable to. So either he was unable to because he clicked through it too fast and just accidentally skipped, you know, continue your combo as an option, or there's some kind of bug in the... Ooh, nice! Brave throw by Dietz here. This is going to lead into big damage, yeah. Master Blaster not even bothering to put a card down. Probably needing every card in hand. Probably tells me, let's have a quick look at his discard. Probably tells me he has 2 aces in hand and a good amount of damage off of the rest of his cards. Yeah, so I'm expecting throw into aces here. Really surprised no face down. Oh, okay, king. Yeah. That's alright. Oh, has to get rid of a queen. Very heavily hinting on the fact that he has a joker in hand. So he's gonna make Dietz think twice. This is... Oh, okay, no, he's got the 7. Alright. So uses the 7, gets a king, queen, and 7 back. So he has all sides of the mix-up. He's got a fair amount of damage. I don't know offhand what her maximum damage is with those specific cards in hand. Great dodge by Dietz. Did he draw into the joker? Does Dietz care? No. He did not. Alright, alright. Dietz on the board. 1 win to 2, and now Dietz has to play a difficult matchup. So he's got to win a tough one here. Can't remember offhand what it was. I mean, we're going to see it fairly soon anyway. Yeah, chat has gone too far. So this is going to be... Oh, I see, yes. Trock versus Lum. So I was very confused when fellow grappler enthusiast Leontes mentioned the fact, and I think some other people also mentioned the fact that this is a Lum-advantaged matchup. And the reason I was confused is that I don't feel that the Rook version is that bad, and clearly, I mean, I'm pretty sure Leontes is on record as being the Manelker version not being that bad. So how could Trock, the best possible, the best of the grapplers, widely considered the most powerful of them, have difficulties in the matchup? And the trick is that he has one very crucial difference that makes him a little bit bad against Lum, and that is his blocks don't stick around. So if your blocks don't stick around and you're dealing with a Lum with queens and jacks, you can quickly run out of blocks, and if you just don't find the draws to be able to build to dodge into Beast Unleashed, you can just get crushed mechanically. The pogs are mine. Yeah, very nice. So slams, windmill slams, 2 windmill crushers. Oh, I wanted to see the third one. I very much wanted to see the third one there. But this matchup, typical for us over grapplers, is block all the attacks that are going to explode your face, and Lum has a lot of them, and then throw all of the blocks that he wants to play. Hopefully he doesn't get touched too badly here. Ooh! Okay, spends the Joker. Unfortunate, because he really needs those Jokers to put more cards in his hand. Master Blaster does get the Jack back. And you can see Lum at a 10-card hand. Rock doesn't matter so much, but in this game, it's in this specific matchup, it's very important for Truck to be able to keep those blocks and make them last for as long as possible. So block is fine. You're not going to be able to sink too many more throws, probably. Although Master Blaster exploiting that, the fear of getting exploded by Jack into huge straight to get some more blocking off. Okay, Dietz gets the second attached block. Master Blaster gets to roll the dice. Okay, gets to keep his jack. So Dietz working on a fairly good life lead here. He's got the setup for a good situation. The other tricky thing too is Trock is very heavily incentivized to try to play Beast Unleashed Raw in this matchup because Lum has tremendous velocity. He spends a lot of time blocking, so he spends a lot of turns drawing. He usually thins his deck by getting aces very quickly, as we're going to see now, so he's not going to draw those. So the likelihood of him getting his jokers is fairly high. And he has very few situations against a character like Trock where he actually should be, where he doesn't want to save them. Like he can just hang on to them until it's like, oh, okay, you dodged? Well, now I'm going to spend it. It's important for me to spend it. This might just be an empty jump. However, it is fairly early on in the game. It's possible Master Blaster has not yet drawn either joker. Okay. And Trock is on a timer. He's on a dodge timer. He only has 6 more left in deck, right? Entirely possible he's not going to survive to the point where he's going to be able to draw them all. But he's set up for it. He's still, again, he's at 90 health. Master Blaster has not yet reached out with a throw. Intent to play the lower risk, lower payoff jack. yeah, Hanji. we know. Okay, actually, really nice for Dietz that I think that's the second throw that Roll the Dice has gotten rid of. The fewer of those he has to contend with, the safer his dodges become. And the more that Master Blaster actually has to block, and therefore open himself up to the potential of getting super thrown to deal with dodges, right? Because you can't attack into dodges, that activates them. So you just have to stand back and potentially let yourself get super thrown so that you don't attack into getting super thrown. No, it absolutely is. Zane especially, hovering on his mighty coattails, checking his cell phone. Okay, Dietz spending some more dodges. Five left. Card Lum. The nice thing about this situation is Dietz can get thrown quite a lot. Ooh, this is unfortunate. Gonna get some good cycling here. Okay, doesn't land on anything. That's nice. We haven't seen any 10s get flipped, which is unfortunate for Dietz. Okay, goes for the throw. Really hoping for his sake that he has the other joker here. If I'm Master Blaster, I probably follow this up. I have very little incentive not to. Although, putting the 8 immediately on there, unless he's got another Jack 8. Oh, okay. There we go. 22 damage. Evens things up quite nicely. Yeah. Very janky, but you do what you need to. Oh, no. Jacks for days. Okay, gets a little closer. So the other thing, too, then, is on top of this like really conservative range that Lum can basically get away with for mostly free, is that he has a brutal endgame. So once he gets Trock into the 40 health range, especially with how many cards he's already drawn, you can just play 10s, get free out-of-combat damage. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it, except desperately hope that he bursts. Or busts, I should say. Busts with a burst. There, saved it. Nailed it. Hashtag. Hashtag Reddit, we did it. Okay, here we go. Power-ups begin. Should see the 10 come out here. And you can see like ordinarily you can also get rid of one of those aces just by playing it as a dodge. We can see Master Blaster choosing not to do that just because it opens him up to the potential of a freakish Beast Unleashed turn. Big damage too, very nice. Really good payoff for that for that investment. Still sitting at 10 cards. You can see the differential in the two players' decks. 19 cards left to 27, so Master Blaster has drawn 8 more cards. So he just has that much more odds that he's going to be able to... Ooh! Is even able to fish for a card of his choice from the deck. Definitely going to be a Joker. Just to remove the possibility of potentially busting. Okay, fishing for more free damage. Finds it. This is the true awful secret of this matchup in particular is that so long as you have Jokers in hand, you can play incredibly conservatively for very, very little risk and very, very high payoff. Okay, so Master Blaster has looked for a Joker. It's guaranteed he has a Joker in hand. And Dietz unwilling to play into it. Just prolonging the amount of time that Master Blaster has the Jokers for. Looks for the other Joker? Straight flush. Oh my god. Okay. Hold on. That is hot. I have actually never ever seen that before. That was amazing. Used the 10 too, like, wow. Wow. So he gets 1 blackjack, dealing 16 damage. Oh, Jesus. And now he gets to decide what else he wants to do. If he just wants to deal 7 damage. Yeah, finds another card from his deck. So again, heavily implying... So he's either looking for another Joker if he doesn't already have 2 of them in hand, or he's finding that last 10, I believe. Yeah, he's got 3 10s in the discard. So now's the time when you start playing the Jokers for real, right? That's definitely a Joker. Or Master Blaster is the greediest man alive? Okay, no. Yeah. Yeah. So, now, there is another avenue that Dietz can use to get back in this game. It was free. Is if he can get a life lead, he can use Master Blaster's additional card draw against him. Very unlikely that it's going to work, but it could. It could happen. Alright, he's setting himself up for another Beast Unleashed. We have all 4 aces in the discard. Let's start counting dodges. No, we've got plenty of dodges. He's definitely got some of those in hand. But in theory, we haven't seen... Have we seen Joker? Yeah, we've seen 1 Joker from Dietz. However, he doesn't have a large proportion of his deck in hand. Ooh! Finds the damage. Puts him at 16. Life lead, boys. Can we navigate there? It's got to be a little bit wary of throws. We haven't seen any throws come out for Master Blaster. So if we see one, I'm pretty willing to bet that it's going to win the game. Okay. Needs to have the Joker here. Otherwise, throw for 22 is very, very powerful. Okay, could just, yeah, kings for days. Okay, 14 damage. Evens up the life totals. Not lethal yet. Okay, finally rolls away some of those cards. If Dietz can get in there. Okay, how many dodges is very important. He's got 3 dodges left in the deck. He's got 3 cards in hand. Okay, Lum going down. Oh, okay. This is the Poker Flourish setup. The time for winning the game is over. Okay, what do we flip? It's almost certainly lethal here. Let's find out. Yeah. Okay. Ah, rip. Yeah, that was a hell of a set. Really? Did not look for the jokers. Oh, was looking for the setup. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that is really beautiful because what are the odds that he's not going to get a joker on that? Beautiful. Whew. Okay. So, clearly the next matchup features Valerie. What have we got on the Master Blaster side? So... yeah, no kidding. Evens. Yeah, I don't believe that the last 3 matchups have actually been declared. Let's see if we can get. Okay. So Valerie versus Satsuki. Argagarg versus Quince, and then DeGray versus Rook. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so Master Blaster has a 3-1 lead. He needs to win any one of the next of these matchups, and Dietz needs to win all 3. So not only am I cheering for Dietz, because always cheer for the underdog, but cheer for Dietz because then we get to see Rook DeGray. And we definitely want to cast Rook DeGray. That's what we want to do tonight. Okay, first turn throw. Okay, so complicated matchup. Satsuki, the pure rushdown character. Valerie, the footsies character. Oh god. Oh no. Very, very unfortunate. That queen interaction is very ugly. Okay, doesn't get huge payoff off of it, which is nice. Does bring Dietz to 60 health and puts Master Blaster at that kind of awkward 4-card hand. This is a really good setup for a Gold Burst. Yeah, the likelihood of a button being pushed in that, like anytime Satsuki is on that 4-card, 3-card, 2-card hand, the buttons are coming out, right? Hey, all of a sudden the payoff is, even if you lose combat, well, okay, yeah, she probably dumps her hand, but at least, you know, I don't take a whole whack load of damage directly between the eyes. And so it's very often kind of a fairly free bit bit of damage for Satsuki. But, you know, sometimes she dodges and you can get that throw in. Good block. Okay, if that's 2 queens gone, that's very important. Oh, 3 queens gone. Huge. Okay, all of a sudden, Valerie's queen's getting much, much better. Are we dropping frames? We are dropping frames. Okay, I'm going to start recording as well, just in case we can save the rest of this set. We're going to hope it settles down, but if not, then we've got the recording. Okay, throw clash. Ooh, does not have the 10 to be able to fuel that. Might be saving the 10s just to set up something later. Nice! Undercuts a king with an ace. Good poking tool. Valerie having a lot of access to 1.0 speed attacks. So as soon as the queens disappear for Satsuki, a lot of that stuff becomes much, much safer. Okay, does he have the 10? Oh, pretty crucial for him to have it there. Very unfortunate. It's undercut with the king. He's going to be able to dump here. So, Master Blaster sitting on very, very nice life lead here. Dietz going to have to make something happen. Okay, successfully navigates the very critical speed of the fox turn. Luckily, he's got a ton of cards in hand, so he was able to make Master Blaster think twice about walking into an attack. Yeah, the frames seem to have stopped increasing, so we should be fine for a little while. I've started recording, so just in case we do lose anything, I'll have the backup, so I'll be able to splice working material in. So Dietz is at 11 health. I'm not saying it's impossible. He can theoretically hit like a 40 damage combo. He's got to have a 10 here, or it's over. Yeah, okay. He might have to have multiple 10s here. No, luckily no 10s on Master Blaster's side, so he gets the 2. He's got to follow this up with everything. Get the damage in. Unfortunate Joker's unfortunate. Okay, but it does put Master Blaster back into that awkward 4-card hand. And Dietz now has enough damage to kill. He's got 32 damage off of 4 cards, or 40 damage if he spaces them out as single aces. Although that means taking way more combat, winning way more combats, which is less likely, considering the life differential. Gets the block off. He's got good dodge punishes now. Dodge into 10, card neutral. And that just might do it. Got to face down here, just against the possibility of additional ace. Yeah. Okay, can no longer afford to block. If he blocks, Master Blaster better be dodging or playing a normal attack, because nothing else is going to work. Yeah, Master Blaster immediately powers up for single ace, putting that 1.0 speed pressure on. Okay, Dietz willing to die to a throw. Very possible that Dietz has... I mean, Dietz can have a ton of damage. Okay, here we go. Here's his chance to go in. 3-card sets. There's an ace somewhere in there, but you pretty... Well, okay, you might choose not to follow this up if you think you have a setup where you can get around that 1.0 speed, but I don't think there exists such a setup, so yeah, just cash it all in. Good damage off of that. 32 off of a throw, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I want to start playing this character. 3 rook throws in 1. Anybody's game. Finds the dodge. He can put Master Blaster on 2 hit points here. Does so. Is it the Joker? No, it is not. Okay, here we go. It all comes down to this. 1 Joker and 3 queens in the discard for Master Blaster. Oh no. Oh no, the 7. So gross. 2 queens played, and queens unfortunately only deal 1 chip. So, Dietz has to dodge an attack, or poke a throw, or throw a dodge. And there is still, I believe, another Joker floating around for Setsuki. So unfortunately, with that queen back in hand, Dietz can't just play queen of his own for fairly good odds to not encounter another queen and then have Joker backup. Yeah, goes whole hog, and nicely played by both players. That was very, very cool. Very interesting tournament format. I really like the way that works. Very, very cool and awesome games. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, no dodges. Yeah, he spent a lot of attacks and a lot of dodges in the early game. Yeah, I agree. Dietz, much love for coming up with this amazing tournament idea. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks to both of the players for playing a fantastic set for us. Congrats to Master Blaster for taking it.